This conference will now be recorded.
Please start the recording. Good evening. It is 6 p.m. on Monday, November 1st, 2021. I am Steve Knight, Chair of the Rhome Planning and Zoning Commission. I will call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Rhome Planning and Zoning Commission to order. This meeting is being live streamed for those who can't be here in person, and I will now call roll to establish a quorum. Commissioner Steve Knight is here. Commissioner Thomas Cannon.
I am here.
Commissioner Christine Aaron.
Here.
And I believe we're missing Christy King, and Sarah Hawes has removed herself. So we do have a three-person here, and we do have a quorum, so we'll continue on. Public presentations. Do we have any public presentations this evening?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay. Regular agenda, old business, discussion and any necessary action regarding the minutes of October 4th, 2021 Planning and Zoning Commission regular session. Has anybody got any changes to that or had a chance to read them? Minutes?
Yes, it's good.
Okay. I'll make a motion. We approve those minutes then. Do I have a second?
Second.
We'll run down the roll call vote again. Commissioner Steve Knight, aye. Thomas Cannon,
Aye.
Christine Aaron.
Aye.
Minutes approved. We'll move on to our public hearing portion. It is now 6:02. Discussion, Item B, Rhome Planning and Zoning Commission to conduct a public hearing to consider regarding a change in the current zoning of residential to retail of properties being legally described as acres 0.340 lot 1 and part 2 block A subdivision Grandview Addition, otherwise known as 300 South Main Street, Rome, Texas. Legal acres 0.323 lot 2 and part 3 block A subdivision Grandview Addition, otherwise known as 330 Main Street, Rome, Texas. Acres 0.327 lot PT5 block A subdivision Grandview Addition, otherwise known as 125 Logan, Rome, Texas. And have we got any comments to read for this?
Yes, sir. There is one in your packet that we received last week before the packet went out, and that was Hyang Warner, and he is in favor, and he's at 125 West Logan. And then we received one today from David and Donna Rose, and they're also in favor.
Yes, with 6:02 being our time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, and any others? That's all we had?
That's all we had, sir.
Okay, well, we have no one in the audience, so I'm going to assume we have no in-person comments to make. So it is now 6:04 p.m. We'll close the public hearing. And move on to our regular agenda, new business. Item C, discussion and any necessary action regarding a recommendation to council regarding a change in the current zoning of residential to retail of properties being legally described as item B. Shouldn't have to read them again. And I'll ask for any input from everybody that's here. Christy? Well, I guess we should get something from our city administrator in the background. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chair Knight. So as you know, you recently had a P&Z meeting regarding this topic, and you recommended there was a request to rezone one residential property abutting Main Street from residential to retail, and you all took action to make that recommendation, along with recommending that the council go ahead and proactively take the action to rezone the remaining properties abutting Main Street. So the council heard that. They agreed with your recommendation and on both accounts, so they were separate. And so the single property that requested moving from residential to retail was approved by council at the last council meeting, and then they directed staff to go ahead and be proactive and start that rezoning process for the remaining 3 properties that abut Main Street and zone them from from residential to retail. That's a tongue twister. And so they did that. We sent out the notices. I also sent out a letter directly to the 3 property owners. So they got the packet that the city secretary sent out, but I also sent out a letter directly to each property owner just to make them aware of the action regarding their property. And as Ms. Montgomery communicated, we haven't had any response from them at this point. So the action tonight is just going ahead and confirming that that zoning request from the city that you all initially recommended.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. Thomas, you have any comment on this?
No, sir.
Christie, any comment?
No, sir.
Okay, then I will make the motion that we pass this on to City Council for their approval to change the zoning from residential to retail on these 3 properties. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Christie. We'll go down one more time. Commissioner Steve Knight, yes. Commissioner Thomas Cannon.
Yes.
Commissioner Christie Narron.
Yes.
Motion passes. At this time, before we adjourn, I would like to make just a quick statement here. I would like to take a few minutes to recognize our City Secretary, Ms. Shannon Montgomery. These thoughts are mine and come just from my own observations. Shannon came to our city back in August of 2017, which, looking back, was a wonderful moment for our city as we truly needed someone to take over many of the tasks involved in running a city. Shannon quickly started getting operations at City Hall running much more efficiently. Our city council meetings were being reported with much better detail. When I became the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission, her help to me was always with a great smile. And one of the traits which she's always showed was how much she cared about our city and its employees and citizens, and would help anyone while showing that great smile. She also has a vast knowledge of what it takes to keep a city running smoothly. Shannon, you will be missed by me, and I thank anyone who has needed your help over the 4+ years you've given to Rhome. I wish you all the happiness and prosperity wherever your life takes you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I appreciate all of you, the commissioners, and your volunteerism for the city.
With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn unless we've got future agenda items. Something we'd like to tackle. Let's do some more classes on.
Well, shouldn't we get together and do some workshops like we were planning to redo the city ordinances or to
try and move forward
yes,
with where we
move forward.
started?
Mhm.
Yes, Commissioner, I think that's a good idea. We do need to do that. I think you had a good idea, and so we probably need to schedule it. I'm just not sure with the holidays coming up how that's going to work, but a joint workshop, we really need to schedule a joint workshop between P&Z and council regarding the comprehensive development plan, and just make sure that we've kind of got our marching orders regarding how we're going to move forward on some of those things. If you've been watching council, you know that one of the things, economic development was one of the key projects, and you guys were kind of working on that again from the foundation of the ordinance perspective as P&Z. I think right now what they're working on, I know they're working on a business focus group, and so what they want to do is engage the businesses in getting their input regarding how they view the city of Rome and the economic development plans for the city of Rome, and just kind of getting their input on how the city can assist them, how we can get feedback from them on what that actually looks like. So I think you're going to be coming at it from both ends, from the business community with whether it's a downtown district or a main street, whatever that looks like, and then from the P&Z perspective, and the ordinance and what action you all need to take. Is it a unified development code, which is where we were heading with the downtown district, and just trying to shrink down that boundary, and then come back and kind of put some meat on the bones, but maybe getting some business input to that process would be helpful as well.
Okay.
My only comment on that would be, since it does involve the city council, it is the city council that we report to. So I would like a good clarification on where they want us to go to and what they want us to try and accomplish.
Right.
And just a little more detail than we've had in the past, because I think that's where we went one direction and they were thinking we another. And
Right.
and maybe some of them need to know what our processes are and what we go through. So and maybe a workshop's the way to discuss that all with everybody. And
Right,
on
and I
board.
think that's why I think that would be a next step, because we had discussed that, I believe, on P&Z, is having that workshop so that we could get clarity and just make sure both bodies are going down the same path. I was just sharing, from another aspect, where they were kind of going. They all work hand in hand, but I think so a workshop would be good. I'm not sure trying to arrange that over the holidays. We're coming into the holidays. They only meet. They have one meeting in November and one meeting in December. So it might be a good idea to plan that workshop, and then it also would give me a little bit of time to make sure that I get some stuff together for y'all to kind of review and look, kind of organize that meeting and get, some input from y'all.
well, if we could for sure put it in their minds, maybe at their next meeting as a quick item to be thinking about a
Okay.
workshop and to be thinking about planning and zoning duties per our ordinances, and in helping us with guidance from them on where they want us to tackle these and spend our efforts.
It's a good idea.
If we don't get the workshop until January, February, that's fine. That's the speed of government.
Right.
But if we could be thinking about that over the months we have to be thinking about it, along with Christmas toys and what way.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing if we just, but I want to make sure we keep the council involved in it as our process goes. I think that's where we strayed with our last, efforts, so. Okay,
And this is going off of what we're talking about, but Shannon, I want to thank you for being here, for doing what you've done. You've done a great job. Just
Thank you.
as long as I've been here, you're always polite, and you always get us what we need, and you're helpful, and I really appreciate you. I hate to see you go.
Thank you.
Thomas, you have any other comments?
I'd like to also, Shannon, you will be missed, and I agree with what Steve said. You are a great help in so many ways, always cheerful about it. And thank you very much for everything you've done. You will be missed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, within no other comments, it is 6:13. I will adjourn this meeting. I don't necessarily need to do it by vote, I'm told, so
Okay.
I just like to use up paper, I guess. So this meeting is adjourned at 6:13. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Good night, Thomas.
guys.